Okay, today Lenny is not available, so I'm substituting for her. So today we're gonna talk about a new unit, which is animals. Okay, so the first one is 蝌蚪. Okay, this one, tadpole, polywog. It's basically the baby of toad or frog. In Chinese characters, there are some words that are specifically created to referring some animals, and those characters are the easiest one to learn because they have only one meaning, which is referring to that animal. 蝌蚪, these two characters is exactly like that, and many of them actually have two characters. Pairing them together become a word referring to a specific animal. So 蝌蚪, it's one of those characters. 蝌, which is very easy. The left side is 虫, which means we will learn that later. That part of the character itself is a character means refer to any insects or worm. And in ancient time, it also referred to animal in general. So therefore, if you see this part of the character, that means this is related to animal, particularly insects or worm. So here is 科, and then the right side, I think you guys know this is the 科学, science. So this is part to represent the sound. Okay, now it's the 斗, 斗, it's, pairing character. 蝌蚪, these two characters together, referring to tadpole or polywog. And these two characters has no meaning other than this. Next one, 百, 百. This one is a verb. Means there's several meanings. One is cast aside or break away from. Basically, you are trying to get away from something. 你说摆脱, 摆脱, that means you 比方说 get away from somebody is chasing you, or somebody is searching for you, that kind of thing. And the second meaning is arrange, place, set it in order. So basically, you arrange something or put anything in order. That's the meaning. 比如说摆正, 摆放端正, that means that you put everything in order neatly and nicely. In military, for example, 摆正, 摆八卦阵, that means you are you're placing your military troops in order, in a specific position, ready to battle. And then 摆席, 摆酒席, that means you arrange a banquet and put everything in place. The food, the wines, the decorations, and tables, chairs, and everything. Okay, and that's called 摆酒席. Then the next meaning is basically waving or shaking. For example, 摆手, that means you're shaking or waving your hand. 摆尾巴, right? The dogs and what dogs 摆尾巴. Okay, dogs swagging their tails. 摆尾巴. And then another meaning is show off. Saying, brag about something, showing off something. That's called 摆, 显摆, 摆阔. 摆阔, that means you show off your wealth. 摆款, that means you show off your social status, and 摆威风摆老资格摆威风 that means you are showing off your power, okay? And then also as a noun, it means the pendulum of something that is waving back and forth, okay? Pendulum. And therefore, they also refer to the lower hem of a gown. Basically, the upper garment of the lower part hem, we call it 下摆. Okay, so this is a bai. So basically, this basically refer to anything that's swagging or waving or shaking, that kind of thing. Okay, bai. 动摆尾尾尾 means tail, end, or lower reaches. Following. That means you are basically following somebody or something. 叫尾随, okay? And also is a measuring words for fishes. One fish you can call it 一尾鱼. If you look at this character, you can see that this basically it looks like a man, right? On the right side is a man, can see? But this man's kind of strange. They put attach a tail to this man. So to emphasize like, oh, this is about tail, okay? Tail. And why do that? Is because in ancient time, in sacrificing ceremonies, oftentimes they need to somebody to represent animals, and so therefore that's how they dress up, and men attaching a tail and do dancing, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's why this is where it comes from. 尾, and so 虎尾牛尾, that means the tail of a tiger or tail of the ox. And then also means the tail end of things. So for example, 末尾, 首尾, that means the head and the tail. 尾句, that means the last sentence of an article. 尾页, that means the last page of a book. And then also, like for example, if a long river, and you say 河尾 or 江尾, that means the tail end of that river. Basically, that's the lower part of the river. 尾随, 尾其后, 尾缀, and that means you are following, and this is oftentimes it's espionage, that kind of thing. You secretly following somebody. Okay, this is called a 尾. All right, so this is 尾.
请练习今天新学的。
Okay, so 蝌蚪摆尾, 蝌蚪摆尾, that means the tadpole, waving its tail. 蛤 This is one of those words that referring to animals, but this one refers to a few animals, not single one. A few animals. Okay, the first one is 蛤蟆. Okay, 蛤蟆 means toad or frog. Toad or frog. So the baby toad and frog, that's tadpole. We just learned. 蝌蚪, right? And then 蛤蟆 means the adult ones. Okay, 蛤蟆 is it's toad or frog. Okay, toad or frog. 蛤. Okay, so 蛤 is if you it's very rare to use just one single character 蛤 to represent a 蛤蟆. Okay, so basically these two characters is used together. Now 蛤 has another meaning, another pronunciation, I should say. Okay, and this is pronounced differently, called 蛤, 蛤, and this is also referred to an animal, but animal in this water. 蛤蜊, 蛤 蛤蜊, called 蛤蜊. And 蛤蜊 is clam, or and another one is 蛤蚧. 蛤蚧 is a called the reptile phrenosoma. Basically, it's a Japanese gecko. Okay, called 蛤蚧. 蛤蚧. So 蛤, when it's pronounced as 蛤, it refers to two kind of animal. One is 蛤蜊, that means clam. The other one is 蛤蚧. 蛤蚧means Japanese gecko. Okay. And the interesting thing is that the Japanese gecko in Chinese medicine is they use it as a Chinese medicine. Okay, to make a person strong. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Okay. So this is 蛤蜊, 蛤蚧. Okay. Then is this hama. Okay. Hama is, we just learned, hama is frog or toad. All right. 鼓. First meaning is drum. Okay, it's the drum, and then used as a verb. That means you beating the drum. Okay, beating or strike the drum. And then extended to mean agitate or arouse or rouse somebody. Arouse somebody's emotions, energies, things like that. And then also means pluck up or flap, like a bird flap its wings. And also means like a toad making the sound. We also call it 鼓. Okay. And another thing is 鼓 means bulge up, like 鼓腹. 鼓, that means your belly is bulge up. Okay. And also used as a measuring words. That means you are the times that you're beating the drum or beating some kind of sounding instrument. Like in Asian times, people there are special people to knocking those cymbals and drums to indicating the time of a night. Okay. Every 2 hours, they do once. And then 鼓, originally in China, it's a very important battle instrument to rally the troops and to send signals in the battlefield. Okay, so this is this character, 鼓. If you look at this character, it also should be quite easy to remember. It's basically, you can see that the left hand side, it looks like a 鼓. Okay, this is the 鼓. You can imagine, I guess I need to let me look up. I should put a picture in it. Okay, in ancient China, the Chinese drum literally looks very like that. Let me look up. Those are modern ones. Those are the gu's that put upright on a thing. Looks like this. You see that one? That's how Chinese like put the gu. Okay, like this one. Okay, so I should put this thing in the later in the description. So you can see that they put on a basically on a store kind of thing. Okay, so basically this is how this character looks like. Okay, you put it on a thing like that, and then on the side you can see looks like a hand holding a stick that you knocking on the drum. So this is how this character is built. Okay, this is 鼓。囊 囊 means 口袋 it's basically that's a bag. Okay, that's a bag, a pocket, or anything like that, anything like a bag. All right, so this one, when you look at the character, if you look at the character, this seems like it's rather complicated, right? But it really it means what it means, like if it is like 甲骨文, it's the variation character that is they carved onto turtle shells. It looks like a bag, and inside the bag there are two shells. Okay, so this is this, but later on, they changed. Okay, they changed the character. Looks like what? It looks like the bag is not the how to say, not tied on one end, but it's a bag that is open on two ends, and then they tied on both ends. That's how this later character looks like. And also, of course, inside they plus quite a bit stuff in there. So that's this character. So basically, this is a bag. Okay, anything like a bag. For example, gallbladder, they call it 胆囊. And then the kidney, they call it 肾囊. The kidney bag, inside kidney, there are very many tiny bags shaped stuff. Okay, so this is a noun. And then another pronunciation of this character called 囊. When it pronounced 囊, that means weak, wimpy. Okay, weak, wimpy. Okay, 窝囊. 窝囊气, that means you are very weak and wimpy.
请练习今天新学的字。
调 is hook, angle or hook. It used as a verb called fish for. Fish for. Fish for what? Fish for toad, fish for fish, fish for anything in the water, or also fish for fame. Okay? And this one is, if you look at it, basically look on the left side, it's 金. That means that this thing is made out of metal. And then on the right side, it looks like a spoon kind of thing. Okay, that means that you are getting something out of water. So getting something out of water using what? Using something made out of metal. So this is how this character is built. Okay, 调. And R means originally this means cake. Okay, like a candy kind of cake. That's the original meaning. But lately, it means nowadays usually means bait. Okay, bait, or induce somebody to do something. R. 鱼饵. 鱼饵 means you are bait for fishing, right? 鱼饵. 钓饵, 钓饵, 蚯蚓. Okay, another pair of characters that specifically built referring animals is 蚯蚓. Okay, this is 蚯. Basically, this character is strictly only refers to earthworms. 蚯. Okay, so this is the left hand side is the 虫, means this is insects or worm. On the right hand side, the character pronounced as 蚯 to represent its pronunciation. So basically, this is referring to earthworm. And the yin, okay, this is the yin, right? The 虫 left part, and then the yin on the right hand side to represent its pronunciation. So 蚯蚓 structurally means earthworm, okay? And then very rarely these two characters used alone. They always come in together. Okay, 钓饵蚯蚓. 钓饵蚯蚓 means when you fishing, they use a lot of time that you use 蚯蚓 as a bait to fish for fish, right? Okay, 如is it's a character 形声字. That means that there has a part to represent its meaning, part to represent its sound, right? 如. So basically it's like worms movement, okay? Swagging their tail, wiggling their body. That's called a 如. Wiggle or squirm. Wiggle, okay? 如. 虫. This is the character that we see that already many times, right? That's in the character. We see this part. And so this part itself is a character called 虫. And basically it's insects or worm. Insects or worm. But in ancient time, this is also used this character to refer animals in general. 虫. And so 蠕虫, that means wiggling worms called 蠕虫. Okay. Now next one is also a character, a pair of characters specifically built to referring a specific animal. 就是马, okay? 马, this one has different pronunciation referring to different animals. When you pronounce as 马, they're referring to two kinds of animal. One is 蚂蚁, that's ant, okay? Ant, any kind of ants, you call it 马. The second one is 蚂蟥, that means leech, okay? This very disgusting, awful animal, leech, sucking your blood. Okay, leech, 蚂蟥, okay? 蚂蚁, 蚂蟥. And then this character has another pronunciation, 骂. When you pronounce as 骂, then it refers to locust, 蚂蚱, okay? 蚂蚱, locust. Then the 蚂蟥, that's the 黄 part of this 蚂蟥, okay? Leech, leech. This is very disgusting. Okay, 蠕虫蚂蟥, that means the wiggling worm of 蚂蟥. Okay? Wiggling worm of 蚂蟥. 鹰, now next one is another pair of characters that referring a specific animal. 鹰, 鹰 is basically 鹦鹉 that refers to parrots. Okay, parrots. 鹦鹉, in Chinese, it also referred to as 莺歌, 莺歌, 鹦鹉. They all refer to parrot. 鹦鹉, these are the very pretty, colorful birds that very famous for mimicking people's talking. Okay, very mimicking people's talking. 鹦鹉. And these characters often, it's very simple, okay? They always like, there's a part of character referring to what kind of stuff is. So because this is a bird, so the right-hand side is a bird, right? And the left-hand side is words used to represent its meaning. And 五, exactly like that. The right-hand side is a bird, the left-hand side is 五, represent its pronunciation. So 鹦鹉, okay? and this they only means carrots. Okay, nothing but parrots. 鹦鹉。学 means study. 学 is a very common word. 学 means study, learn, imitate. Okay, mimic. That means 学. But also means school. 学校. 学校, right? 学堂, 学馆, 学院. That means any kind of learning institute. Okay, and then also a learning, a particular type of learning. Basically, a general learning of a person. For example, 学问, like 学行, 才学, that means that refers to that person's learning. That means that person is very knowledgeable. And then also a subject of study. For example, like 化学, 物理学, that means chemistry or physics. Okay, 文学, that means literature, right? And so also a branch of learning, right? We just said like 文学、哲学、地理学、化学, okay, that kind of 学. So this is 学. Now this character, it's very interesting because they has a little child in. Of course, that the whose main task is 学, like spend their most of the time just 学. That means those little kids, right? The little kids they spend their almost entire time learning all kinds of stuff, right? So it's 学. That means that's why this character it's very interesting. You can see that there's a little child inside a house. That's the learning institute, and then there are two hands, showing off there's something. The two hands showing off something. Okay, so basically inside the institution, you are showing kids something. Okay, show them something. That's 学.
请练习今天新学的字。
舌 means tongue, or anything resembling a tongue. And then it's also the hammer or the spring of musical instrument, like this brass instrument. This on the end, then you blow air into it. It also often has a metal piece or bamboo piece that is it will shake to make the sound. That's we call it 舌. Okay, and also anything like a tongue, like a flame, we call it 火舌. Okay, we call it 火舌. And some hat, the visor of a hat, we call the 帽舌. Okay, 帽舌. And 舌. Okay, and then if you look at the character, it also makes a lot of sense. You can see that literally there's a mouth, and then there's part that sticking out. Okay, sticking out, and this sticking out has a branch, has a 叉. Okay, like branch off. So this is literally looks like the tongue of a snake. Okay. 舌. So here, 鹦鹉学舌. That means what? The parrots, 鹦鹉, right? 学舌. 学舌 means you mimic the tongue. What do you mean? Mimic the tongue. That means mimic whatever people is saying. Okay, what people is saying. So 鹦鹉学舌 is actually a idiom. It's a Chinese idiom. 鹦鹉学舌. It makes a lot of sense, right? So 鹦鹉, when 鹦鹉 mimic that sentence, it does not mean that the 鹦鹉understand what he's saying, what he's doing. Okay, it's just mimicking your tongue's movement and pronouncing that sound That's it. So that's called 鹦鹉学舌, right? It's just mimicking your tongue movements, nothing else. It doesn't mean it understand your meaning. So this idiom, the meaning of this idiom is exactly like that. So it refers to somebody, just making their sayings, blah, 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 talking, but they don't exactly know what they're talking about. Okay, they just mimicking whatever somebody else is saying. Me. Okay. Me. This one, you can see that this has something to do with insects or worm. Okay, and this one is means honey or anything that is sweet. Okay, anything that is sweet. So the original meaning is basically exactly like that. It's the honey. Okay, the honey that bee makes. All right. Let's take a look at it, the animal. This. Oh, that's interesting. So basically, the 虫 part, that means that related to insects, and that's the upper part pronounced as me, so that's the representing the sound. Okay, not really that fancy. Me, 风. Okay, 风 means bees, swab, bees, honeybees, things like that. Okay, and蜜蜂, 蜜蜂. So 蜜蜂 is referred to a particular type of bees, right? These are the bees that are making the honey. Okay, called a 蜜蜂. And then also some kind of other 蜂, right? Like 雄蜂, 虎蜂, 细腰蜂, swab, wasp, and that bees. Okay, 蜜蜂 is referred to honeybee. And then this character also means that this 蜜蜂 flying in swamp kind of behavior. Okay, 蜂 so like a 蜂群作战, right? 蜂群作战, that's the very modern military tactics. That means you making bunch of drones, and then the drones fly out in swamps to carry out military action, and then called 蜂群作战. Okay. 蜜蜂穿芒穿 穿 means pierce through, or dig, or excavate, go through, thread, pass through, bore a hole. So basically, this is you are getting through a hole, or making a hole and getting it through. Okay, so that's meaning. And what it looks like is this character 是 the top part is a cave. Looks like a cave. The top part, right, looks like a cave, and the bottom part looks like a rat with teeth. Okay, so that means that the rats, rats is pretty good at bore holes. Their teeth is very strong. They just grinding everything and making making tunnels, right? In the ground. Okay, so this is how this character is built. 穿, so basically, you either has a hole in place already, and you put something through, or there's another hole in place already, but you are using some kind of force to bore it through, to make a hole to get through. Okay, so this is 穿. And another meaning is put on clothes. Okay, why put on clothes has anything to do with it? And this is because when you put on clothes, you have to go through your arm, make your arm go through the sleeves, right? And like a 穿鞋, 穿鞋, that means you have to like slip your feet into the shoes, right? So like there's a hole and you have to put your feet through it. So that's why you call it 穿衣,穿鞋,穿袜. Okay, call it 穿. And now there another meaning that called review or expose. 穿帮,穿破, 穿崩, that means you expose somebody, some bad stuff, some secret. Okay, called 穿. Why this is related to expose? That means you can imagine like if when you bore a hole through something, that will reveal something that is unknown before, right? Secret before. That's why. 穿.
请练习今天新学的字。
忙, 忙 means busy, okay, fully occupied or haste, hurry, in great rush, that kind of thing. Okay, so basically it's busy, like really busy. Okay, and but how this character is built, that's also very interesting. It looks like this. You have a heart on the left side. Okay, heart on the left side. So anything that you see this kind of part of character on the left hand side, that means related to heart. Okay, so in Chinese character, anything has this part. Okay, this 心 part that refers to people's emotions. Okay. Sensations or emotions. That's, in ancient time, people thinks that emotions are related to their heart. Okay, heart. And the right hand side is a knife. Is a knife. Okay. So that means this knife means cut off, like you lost. Okay. That's kind of meaning. So basically, you kind of lost your heart, like you don't kind of, my heart is not with me anymore. Okay, and so that means that I'm so busy that I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so this is how this character is built. 忙. All right. So let's go back to this. 蜜蜂穿忙. This means honeybees that is they are flying through the air very busily. Okay, flying through the air very busy. That's basically means 蜜蜂穿忙. Okay, so all right, so this is gonna be for today lesson. Okay, and next time we are gonna continue study the characters for animals. All right, so see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.